regardless of the number of people out there who are supporting this current government, I'm at the stage of my life where I am afraid of anyone who is not afraid of this government. I am shocked at anyone who is not shocked at the exploits of this government. We are not talking about the unnecessary loans. We're not talking about the borrowing saga. We're not talking about the impoverishment of the people, the affliction of the Nigerian people with abject poverty, multidimensional poverty. That's not the focus of the day anymore. We are talking about a situation whereby concurrent budgets unimplemented, budgets uncleared aside, we have a situation whereby the federal government of Nigeria are providing a budget to the Nigerian people to see and assess, wherein which part of the plans allocation was stipulated for 2026 World Cup support for the Super Eagles. Now, when Nigeria now bahara, ogologo. When Nigeria now bahara in this current scenario, this current regime, in this current time, you have to go and thank God. Because it's not just about frustrating your efforts to be able to make a change. It's not just about singling you out for being someone who is outspoken, joining the party or the people or the sector or, the group that want to bring about alleviation of this calamity, these multidimensional calamities that befell the people, the Nigerian people. We are talking about a situation whereby we are now scared of our mental health. It has gotten to the extent whereby the focus now is your mental health, because what is going on in this government, Gecko, if you allow it to enter into your mind, to your head, and you sleep over it, then with every tendency that the way you think will start changing, and if care is not engaged about Hakorogawazi. I saw this picture you are seeing on your screen. I saw it and I didn't believe it. Nigeria did not qualify for 2026 World Cup, yet 6.4 billion naira was budgeted for it. In other words, we didn't qualify. Despite this issue of Nigeria not qualifying for the World Cup in 2025, in 2026, a budget appeared. And part of the items in there is 6.4 billion naira, specifically for the Super Eagles in the 2026 World Cup. News fly all the day and night on social media. So I didn't want to go into conclusion. So I had to, probe a little bit so I can get more facts. I went online and then I asked Google AI, did Nigeria budget 6.4 million naira for World Cup that Nigeria did not qualify for? The answer, the highlights there is very, very clear. Yes. Nigeria's 2026 federal budget included an allocation of 6.44 billion naira for a World Cup campaign that the country failed to qualify for. Reading further, we look at the core details. He said the item was discovered in the 2026 Appropriation Act under the National Sports Commission. It is officially titled Special Presidential Support Group for 2026 World Cup Qualifiers. Now, if you talk about qualifiers, it makes sense. That may be like, the incentives, to, there are loads of things to pay for. There are loads of things to pay for, during the qualifiers. The bonuses for the players, the allowances, travel expenses, and the rest of them, as it ought to be. That shouldn't be the case, as it ought to be. But we're talking about a timeline mismatch. You can see the headline there, the timeline mismatch. The Super Eagles were officially knocked out of the qualification race in November 2025. So with that, we shouldn't have a situation whereby in the near future we'll be seeing any Nigerian budget featuring anything allocation for 2026 World Cup anymore, because this is for 2026. And he said, despite the failed qualification campaign ending, the 6.44 billion item still appeared in the subsequent 2026 federal budget. Rufai could not sit on this. Oseni Rufai, he wanted to lose his mind What did he say? Let's listen to him.
They had one cup that we didn't go to into the budget.
Yes.
When I cry for this country, people say, well, I have a lot of tears in my eye.
Don't cry, my brother.
That we didn't go to the add it to the budget. And then our friends Adeyemi.
Dr. Bat.
Okay, I was going to refer to a book.
It's crazy. These guys just want to loot this country dry. I'm beginning to question the authenticity of the citizenship of some of these people in power, starting from the number one person, from the number one citizen of the country. What are we doing? Is it till you loot and just remain absolutely nothing, not even the country again for the subsequent generations? 6.44 billion for a World Cup that Super Eagles failed to qualify for. Yeah, may happen in 2026, but what? Jesus, at this juncture, this is officially coming from me. I am afraid of anybody who is supporting this current government, because you can't prove to me beyond every reasonable doubt, even by any means standing that sounds logical and is imperatively okay and clear, that you are patriotic. You have the spirit of patriotism for your country, Nigeria. If at all you are a Nigerian. How? 6.44 billion for a World Cup that people, I don't even want to talk about the fake agency. I don't even want to talk about some other. Must we make ourselves objects of intellectual ridicule before the world? Must we bring out ourselves to be mocked, to be laughed at from a global perspective? The world view, the view of people who are logical, responsible, and are patriotic, people who understand the obligations to their country. Must we bring out ourselves to be mocked every time? We need to change this government, honestly. We should not let any stone we should not leave anything unturned. We should not leave anything unturned. This government, they have failed and have described failure. The officials in this government, they have collectively, they have personified failure. The narrative needs to change. It needs to change by people, citizens of the country coming together, exercising their franchise, giving their mandates, defending their vote, and kicking out this government. That's the only thing that can help Nigeria to start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. If we must get to that end, this government, they need to go.